everybody, Farmer Dan. Just a little short video to explain to you how to do an H-brace. So we've been working on building our fence for our horses that are coming in. They're not here yet. And every time you have a corner, you need to make an H-brace. So here's an example of a completed one right here. Now, usually I do these videos, I'm learning as I go, but in this case, I've done several already. We cemented in this post here, and then we had these other posts that go between them. Now, one mistake I made that you should not make, always get your posts longer than they need to be, because we tried to, when we drilled the holes originally, we tried to make them exactly 7 feet apart, and that doesn't always work well. So we ended up having some poles we couldn't use, and we had to go get 8-foot posts. We were trying to get it just to 7 feet. Anyway, so the final result should be like this. This is perfectly level. You'll have a little pin sticking out here. That's going to be to wrap high tensile wire around it later, around the corner here and then down to that corner there. And then the way this one's holding in is I actually hammered in another metal pin here, and it just kind of goes in there a little bit and it fits into there. So they just kind of hold into place. Now, how did I get to that point? That's what I'm about to show you. First of all, the tools you're going to need are, you're going to need a long drill bit that is 3/8 inch. I have a big level, some tape measure, and a hammer. That's pretty much all you need. Oh, sorry, one thing you do need as well. 1 second. So these things are called like fencing pins. They come in 5 inches and 10 inches. The 5-inch one, you want to see the one I already did already. The 5-inch one you hammer in first right here. So it's about that far in, and then you drill a hole into this, and then you just kind of stick it in, and then you bring it down here, get it level, and then you take this 10-inch one, you drill a big hole through that, and then you hammer this in, but you'll see that in a minute. So go buy these at Tractor Supply, your local store, or you could always just buy a long bar and use an angle grinder to cut them every so often. So here we go, first step. The first step is you're gonna take your 5-inch pin, and that's gonna be the one that goes into the corner right here, because the 10-inch pole is gonna wanna be on the other side of the corner. You're gonna draw wires around that at the end. So I'm gonna drill a hole here, and then I'm going to hammer this into place. One other thing too is you're going to want to make sure you measure how far down you want your hole to be, and that it doesn't conflict with the hole you've already driven here, because you don't want to go metal crashing into metal here. So I did this one about 12.5 inches down. I'm going to do about 12 inches down for this one. All right, so one tip, since you're putting this 5-inch piece in here, you only want it to go in about halfway. So you have to figure out how far should you go in with this drill so that half of this is sticking out when you push it in. Because remember, this is just a pin. You're just going to hammer it in. It's going to hit a dead spot in there. So as soon as it gets in there, you got to make sure you don't go in too far. So I've been going about that far. Then you grab your hammer, and it just goes right in. And actually could probably go in a little further. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go, can I go in a little further? Let's see, well, let me, sometimes when it gets stuck in there, it's kind of hard to get out. Yeah, you know what? That'll do. So I'll just have to make sure that the hole in the post is a little bit further. Now, I will tell you that I've already been out here once and checked this post to make sure that it was long enough. So it should fit pretty good. Now, the next thing you got to do is drill a hole into the post. And I'll show you how to do that so that it can go right into here. Now, I saw from a couple videos online that you don't want to put the hole right in the center, because then it'll start spinning in place when you're trying to put the pins in later. So I'm actually going to put it just about a 1/2 inch above center, which is what I saw some other people do online. So here's center. Do it right about there. I'll try to go in as straight as I can. I'm gonna go in a little further than usual since I left some extra pin there when I put the first pin in. Let's give that a try. Okay, then you bring your post over to that spot. And you put the pin right in the hole there. Kind of line it up, and you kind of jet it right in there. Good, nice and flush, like it should be. Okay, this next part can be a little tricky because you have to use a level, and you have to also get everything kind of in place. So get the camera in the right place here. There we go. That looks pretty good. So I've got the hole on this end right here. I'm gonna get in the hole there. And then you have to have a hammer ready so you can kind of wedge it into place so it fits nice and snug into here. At least that's the way I'd like to do it, instead of getting it like exactly right. You want it to be, because these posts will move a little bit even though they're cemented. All right, here we go. You get it lined up, lift it up, push it through, and you'll see that it's just about tight enough. And then you start to wedge it in. This is where the hammer would come in handy. And you kind of force it in there a little bit. See if I can get this to fit. Sometimes it takes a little persuasion. Either that or I didn't cut it short enough. Let's find out. Huh. Well, this might be my first goof. There we go. Got it. Once you get it in there, it holds pretty tight. And then you just kind of keep hammering it till it gets leveled down. So that's why I got my big level here. And when I first started this, I was like, how the heck am I going to do this myself? And this is how you do it. You just have to have good measurements. Well, pretty good measurements. That one probably could have been a little bit better. And then you just hammer it down until it's level. And we are just about level. Now, final step is we need to drill a hole right through here, but this is for the 10-inch pole. Sorry, the 10-inch pin. So you want to do it so that most of it goes in through this post here and then into the H-brace. When you're done, it should only be sticking out just a little bit, and you'll see that up close in a minute, because when you finish getting the post in there, the final step is to get some high tensile wire and wrap it around at a diagonal from this corner down to that corner to create some more tension, to kind of make sure that they really stay kind of like pulling in towards each other. All right, now we're back on drilling again. Once again, you got to figure out how much drill should you still be able to see when you've gone far enough. I figured out that it's right about there. I should see that much drill sticking out of the wood to know that I've gone far enough and that this will be sticking out just enough at the end. So line up your drill. By the way, something funny for all you watching at home, I never knew there was a level right here. So if you want to make sure you're drilling straight and you have that on your drill, hopefully you've noticed it long before I did, because that's years of embarrassment. But anyway, there it is. It's really tough to kind of like, especially with a long drill bit like this, to make sure you're going straight, but that's been really helpful. So here we go. We're gonna, once again, not go in the very center, just off center. So I'm actually gonna just kind of eyeball it right here and go straight through about there. All right, here we go. Make sure it's level. And go. Come on. Sometimes you run into like a knot in the wood. Oh, something else I learned. Keep pulling out the drill bit, because sometimes all like the pieces of wood and sawdust, it starts to block you up. So it's good sometimes to kind of go in and out with the drill bit. You can see all that mess coming out. All right. Now eventually you're gonna go right into the post. Keep like retracting a little bit. Work your way in. Almost there. And I'm gonna stop right about there. Next up, get your 10-inch pin, get your hammer, and go right in. Do it over here so you can see. As you can see, it goes in piece of cake, and hopefully, there you go. That's about what you want, just enough so you can tie the wire on this later, which will be the next step. There you have it. Got a level H-brace post. That's part one. Part two will be how to run the wire from here down to that corner use a ratchet to pull it in tight, and then we'll be set.